Welcome to The Score. I'm your host, Michael Burgess. For more information on this live broadcast and future episodes, please visit worldwrestlingnews.com. We have much to talk about, so stay tuned because we are going to be bringing you the Ringside Report along with results, announcements, and much, much more.
The one night that we wait for, when it's all put on the line. We all striving to reach the top and be the champion this time.
I'm gonna be a champion. Yeah, I got what it takes, risk it all, make my own fate. Yeah, I'm gonna be a champion. All the glory and the fame, jet setting in my own plane. I'm gonna be a champion. Silhouettes in the spotlight, cash falling from the sky. Yeah, I'm gonna be a champion. All it takes is one night for me to turn around my whole life. Say it's easy coming up and trying to be the best. I'm calling bluff, you looking tired, man, you need a rest. You trying to graduate ahead of class, cheat the test. Homie, I ain't even trying, I just be the best. Championship rings, yeah, I got a few. Gold medal, first place, what I gotta do. Hard work, dedication, never quitting, now you looking at a champion. I'm gonna be a champion. Yeah, I got what it takes, risk it all, make my own fate. Yeah, I'm gonna be a champion. All the glory and the fame, jet setting in my own plane. I'm gonna be a champion. Silhouettes in the spotlight, cash falling from the sky. Yeah, I'm gonna be a champion. All it takes is one night for me to turn around my whole life. I'm gonna be a champion.
The one night that we wait for, when it's all put on the line. We all striving to reach the top and be the champion this time.
I'm gonna be a champion. Yeah, I got what it takes, risk it all, make my own fate. Yeah, I'm gonna be a champion. All the glory and the fame, jet setting in my own plane. I'm gonna be a champion. Silhouettes in the spotlight, cash falling from the sky. Yeah, I'm gonna be a champion. All it takes is one night for me to turn around my whole life. Say it's easy coming up and trying to be the best. I'm calling bluff, you looking tired, man, you need a rest. You trying to graduate ahead of class, cheat the test. Homie, I ain't even trying, I just be the best. Championship rings, yeah, I got a few. Gold medal, first place, what I gotta do. Hard work, dedication, never quitting, now you looking at a champion. I'm gonna be a champion. Yeah, I got what it takes, risk it all, make my own fate. Yeah, I'm gonna be a champion. All the glory and the fame, jet setting in my own plane. I'm gonna be a champion. Silhouettes in the spotlight, cash falling from the sky. Yeah, I'm gonna be a champion. All it takes is one night for me to turn around my whole life. I'm gonna be a champion.
Welcome back to The Score. For those of you who have not ever heard The Score before, this is a very special episode. Not only is it our Hell in a Cell preview show, but it is our debut episode of The Score. Well, just as some reminders, this is a 30-minute live weekly broadcast that discusses the latest in the world of pro wrestling. So let's go ahead and dive in, shall we, by kicking off with the Ringside Report. Alright. Well, some news going around here is WWE is announcing that they are hoping to sign 30 to 40 more guys in the next couple of months. A lot of workers currently in developmental aren't happy, so we're being told. We're told many of the more experienced workers feel they aren't learning anything, and they are just doing the same drills day after day, week after week. The complaints have gotten so loud, I guess, that Triple H has decided to pay a little more attention to what's going on. Normally, Hunter flies in for the NXT tapings and right back out afterwards. However, he stayed the night on Thursday to spend Friday at the WWE Performance Center. And we're told that he was there as of early Friday afternoon, and everyone was on their best behavior. A lot of complaints deal directly with the head NXT trainer, Bill DeMont, but complaints against him are fairly common. However, no one really wants to step up and complain directly to Triple H, but he actually heard enough through the grapevine that morale was low enough that he needed to see what was going on. We're told Hunter rearranged his week to spend the day at the developmental complex to get more of a handle on the issue. Next, we're going to talk about AJ Styles here on our Ringside Report. You know, TNA Wrestling followed through with the storyline plans that we first reported here at WorldWrestlingNews.com. And they followed through these plans on this week's episode of Impact. You know, after beating Bully Ray in the rematch for the TNA title, AJ Styles turned down Dixie Carter's contract offer and walked out as champion. And you know, we'll get more into this in our indie report here, which will discuss TNA and Ring of Honor. But some other things that are hot news right now is a Hulk Hogan superfan was asked to remove Hulkamania gear at TNA Bound for Glory. You know, Hulk Hogan superfan George Aton attended TNA Bound for Glory on Sunday in San Diego, California, sitting across from the hard camera in Section 2, Row 1, Seat 11. You know, George, who traveled from Australia, decided to pay tribute to Hogan by bringing a Hogan sign and wearing full Hulkamania gear. TNA staff approached George during the pay-per-view and asked him to put the sign down. They later asked him to remove his Hulkamania gear, and they would give him some TNA merchandise to replace it. George, who documented the experience on Twitter, refused to comply. And he in fact tweeted, "I'm sick to my stomach. I've just been told to put the Hulk Hogan sign down. It can't not go up anymore. WTF." And a reply here from Brian Johnson, "Are you kidding me?" Well, George Otten replied by saying, "Yes, now they want me to take my Hulkamania gear off and wear a TNA shirt. I've refused." Then Wade Shada jumped into this conversation. "A refund ain't gonna cut it. This is being beyond insulting. He traveled halfway across the world for this." George once again replied by saying, "What can I do? I put the Hulkster sign down and the crew keeps looking at me." Then Ian Stewart jumped in and said, "What happened with TNA? Did they lay off you in the end? Pretty sad how they treat a fan." Then George replied once again by saying, "Yes, I told them I refused to take my gear off. At the last match, they backed off. It was really wrong." And then, of course, that is just some sad, sad news from TNA right there. You know, how dare TNA? I've just seen so many people bury TNA, and I'm gonna just go ahead and help bury them. You know, I've listened to the Pro Wrestling Report prime time on Saturday nights, and I've listened to David Hero, Ardo Cal, and Damian Nelson, and I've heard all of their opinions about TNA, and I have to agree with a lot of it. TNA, what the heck are you doing? TNA, you don't ask. You just had Hulk Hogan. He was the general manager. I know he's not under contract. But you're going to tell this person, you can't, sir, you have to change. We don't want to see that here. We don't. Just how dare TNA? How far are they going to go to prove whatever they're trying to prove here? Just how far are they going to go? And it is absolutely ridiculous that TNA has done this and that they are doing this. And you know, I've seen and heard their attendance for TNA Bound for Glory. It was awful. It was like the worst. Over half the arena had got to be empty. Like, just about the whole audience was only sitting on the one side of the arena because they were all asked to move. It was completely ridiculous. TNA, I don't know. I just don't think you're going to be around a whole lot longer. Well, some other hot news is WWE releases plot details for Season 2 of Total Divas. You know, WWE and E! Network sent out a joint press statement earlier today revealing the details for the upcoming season of wrestling-based reality show Total Divas. Well, TV by the Numbers notes that the show will be returning for a new 6-episode run on Sunday, November 10th at 10 p.m. Eastern. And plot points and storylines are also mentioned, with Nikki Bella and Eva Marie's rivalry looking to be one of the focal points. And the story picks up with Eva Marie causing more drama amongst the divas when she lands a spot in WWE's SummerSlam event. She pushes Nikki Bella too far when she fuels the rumor that she will become John Cena's, Nikki's boyfriend, personal valet. Meanwhile, Airline Anger's issues begin to affect her relationships with her family, boyfriend, and co-workers, and Trinity accidentally humiliates Natty in front of millions of fans days before the biggest match of their career. Later in the session, cameras capture the WWE superstar Daniel Bryan's surprise proposal to Brie Bella. And that is some of the plot details that will be going on in the Season 2 of Total Divas. If you haven't seen it, it's a pretty okay show. Rated TV 14, go check it out. Sunday, November 10th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central Time. We've got news on Hulk Hogan. He's reportedly training for a WWE return. Hulk Hogan, who is celebrating the 1-year anniversary of Hogan's Beach Shop this weekend, still has not signed a deal with TNA and has started to put feelers out to see what major bookings he can get. PWMania.com reported this past week that Hulk Hogan has signed to appear at the big event convention on November 9th in Flushing, New York. So, Hulk Hogan is reportedly training for a WWE return. Well, that's this week's hot news and ringside report. We're going to go ahead and jump into our WWE report. And this week, since it's our Hell in a Cell preview, it is our go-home show to Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. We thought we would take the entire WWE report and dedicate it just to Hell in a Cell. Well, what are your predictions? Are there potential spoilers out there? What's the final match card? Well, Dark Hearts and Final Battles will be this story of WWE Hell in a Cell 2013. Tice will be rivals into the Devil's Playground, looking to use a retribution as is allowed in the PG era. A Hall of Famer will oversee a Hell in a Cell match between Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan for the vacant WWE Championship, while CM Punk will look to maim Paul Heyman in another. A strong undercard promises an exciting show beyond those matches, including a triple threat match that threatens to steal the show. Who will betray who? Which champions will be champions no longer? A preview complete with list of matches, predictions based on recent storylines and patterns, as we will see here. And we will also be revealing backstage news reports right now on the WWE Report. Well, let's just take a run through the match card right now. The final match card is Curtis Axel, who is the current Intercontinental Champion, versus Big E Langston. This will be in the kickoff show, and of course, the Intercontinental Championship is on the line. Los Matadores versus the Real Americans with Zeb Coulter. Then we have the Divas Championship. AJ Lee is the Divas Champion versus the number one contender, Brie Bella. Cody Rhodes and Goldust, the Tag Team Champions, versus the Shield versus the Usos in the Tag Team Championship match. CM Punk versus